Konnichiwa, hello, my name is Miki and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I had a follower ask me if I could do a neutral look with this palette right here. This palette is just one of my favorites and I figured, you know what? I'm gonna be filming another video later on today and I have to get ready anyway, so I figured why not just film with this because this is actually gonna be included in the video that I'm gonna be filming later on. So if you guys are new here or you enjoy my videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to hit that bell notification so you actually know when I post my videos, and my disclaimer: if you are super sensitive to profanity or if you are easily offended, this is not the place for you. I am a no filter bitch and I have no idea what's gonna come out of this mouth, so keep that in mind while you're watching. So if you guys are interested in a neutral look using the Makeup Revolution Forever Flawless Chilled palette, then just stay tuned. So as you can see, my face has not been great already in the beginning of this year. I'm actually considering going on Accutane again because I can't fucking deal with this. Like, I'm an adult. I shouldn't have to be dealing with acne anymore, but you know, genes sometimes just don't give you a freaking choice. Anyways, let's get on to getting this neutral look with the Makeup Revolution Forever Flawless Chilled palette. Now, I mentioned in my intro that one of my followers reached out to me and asked if I could do a neutral look using the green and maroon colors in here, and that is exactly what I'm gonna be doing. I love when people ask me to do like a video or give me ideas because it's really hard with YouTube being so saturated with like the beauty community and everybody doing beauty and skincare and all that stuff. So I like when people ask me like, hey, can you do a video on this? Or hey, can you review that? I love that. So if any of you guys have any requests, leave them all in the comment section. Hit me up on Instagram messages, whatever it is you want to request, give me them ideas because I love hearing what you guys want to see. Now, I already have my eyes primed and my brows did. On my eyes, I'm wearing the ColourPop No Filter Concealer for a primer because I just can't use that as a concealer, and I love it as a primer because there's no creasing, there's no transferring, none of that stuff. First, I'm going to take my Luxie 229 tapered blending brush. I actually got these like before I left for my trip and they finally came in, and I'm just, I love Luxie brushes. I've never owned any, but they are really, really soft and they're almost like Sigma brushes, but you know, just kind of like a different brand, wanted to try something new. I'm going to first dive into the color Relax down here because it is a great transition shade. Even when I'm not using this palette, I'll actually bust this palette out for this specific shade because it is just a beautiful transition shade and I love it so, so much. So I am just going to put this down where your crease would be. I always do this because you guys know I don't have a fucking crease. Even in 2020, that crease has not showed up yet. So I'm just going to blend this out. Now that I got that transition shade down, I'm just going to take the same exact brush, and this time I'm going to go into a little bit more of a darker color for the, I guess you could say, crease area. I'm just going to call it the hood of my eye because that's where my crease would be, is where my eyes are really, really hooded. So I'm going to take this color Cool right here on the same brush, and I am going to place this basically right where the transition shade, but a little bit lower than where it stops because I want this to be kind of like my second transition shade, if that makes sense. So I'm not going to completely cover the last transition shade. I'm basically just going to go a smidge lower and just build this up. Now that I have that blended out, I'm going to take two of my Sigma brushes. These are identical almost, except they're different sizes. I have the E27 and E25, the detail blending and the regular blending. As you can see, they look almost identical, except one is smaller than the other, and I like to use the small one to get a little bit more color into like my hooded eye area. So I'm going to alternate between these two brushes, and I'm going to start darkening the outer area of my eye. I'm going to take the darkest color in this pan, which is the shade Burn right here. Now you may be thinking like, what about this green over here? Isn't that a dark green? Yes, it is, but this is more of a darker tone than all the rest of the colors in this palette, and I just want to stick to a nice gradient. So I want the outer edges of my eyes to be darker, and then we're gonna get in with lighter tones as we go in. Because this is a neutral eye look, not necessarily a natural everyday eye look, I am gonna be adding a little bit more green than I normally would. Anyways, I'm gonna go in with the color Burn, and we're going to darken up the outer corners of my eye. have that color blended out. And before I go on to what I'm gonna do next, I just kind of want to explain, because a lot of people don't understand the difference between natural and neutral. And so I'm gonna explain that real quick, because you're probably thinking I thought she was gonna do a neutral look, and a lot of people think neutral means natural, and it doesn't. So natural look basically means like less coverage of foundation, less highlight, less glowy shit on your face, basically more natural, as you would wake up in the morning and this is how you woke up. Like I woke up like this. That is a natural kind of look, where you're wearing eyeshadow that is almost undetectable, where you add a little bit of shine or a little bit of pop to your inner corner, maybe a little bit on your lid, and you wear a little bit of mascara, and that's it. That is natural. Neutral basically means the same kind of color scheme, all in the same color family. So if you're doing makeup, it can be a smoky eye, because most of the time smoky eyes are all in the same color scheme. If you're doing like a black smoky eye, you're usually using black, grays, maybe some cool tone browns, stuff like that. So that is more of a neutral look. And I just want to state, I am doing a neutral eye look today, not a natural eye look. Just want to make that very clear, so you guys aren't thinking like, what the hell, this is not natural at all, because I'm not doing a natural look. I'm doing a neutral eye look. I just want to make that clear, because a lot of people get those two confused, and a lot of people don't know the difference. They think it's the same thing or similar, and if you think about it, it really isn't. Now, if you're a makeup artist, you should already know the difference between neutral and natural, because people will come to you and say, I want a natural look, or I want a neutral eye look, or I want a neutral glam look. Now, a neutral glam look is basically a smoky eye with lots of highlight, lots of coverage of concealer, and maybe a nude lip, and you're gonna have lashes that you know are there. Just want to make that nice and clear so you guys understand what kind of look that I'm actually doing here. Now that I have that dark shade down, I'm going to start incorporating some greens, and this is where the whole neutral thing comes in, because all this palette, as you can see, it is a neutral palette. These all coincide together. These all have a nice flow. There's not like a pop of random, you know, purple or blue in here. That's what makes this more of a neutral type of palette. And so I just really want to make that clear, because a lot of people just don't understand that there is a difference. I'm going to be kind of going back and forth between the color Plant and Natural here. To apply the green eyeshadow, I'm just going to be using the same Sigma brush, the E27 Detail Blending, because I am not really going to make this like super duper green. I want this all neutral to flow together, to have some kind of gradient from dark to light. And so I'm just going to be using the Detail Blending brush and going back and forth between those two colors. Now that I have the greens blended out, I'm actually going to go back in with the shade Burn, which is that dark brown, and we're going to clean the blending up a little bit. So I'm going to take the same Luxie brush that I used earlier, the 229. I'm going to dip into the brown, the Burn color, and all I'm going to do is basically darken up the outer corner a little bit more, but blend it into the green, so that way this green part is still going to be green, but a little bit more of a darker green, because we're mixing the Burn color and the greens together. But we're also going to have more of a gradient, and gradient just basically means gradually going into like a different color or a lighter opacity. So all I'm going to do is take that brown color and just kind of mingle these two together, or blend these two together, so we have more of a gradient, and so it's not just looking like green and then brown. This is going to give it a nice blend to where it looks like the brown is slowly changing into like a green color. So now I'm going to move on to the bottom lash line. I have two brushes here. I'm going to be using the BH Cosmetics pencil brush. This is from the Rose Quartz set. And then I'm going to be using the Real Technique smudge brush. I love this guy. I use it for every single transition shade on the lower lash line. So all I'm going to do is take the Real Technique smudge brush, and I'm going to take the color Relax, which is the first shade that we used for transitioning. And I'm just going to line my entire bottom lash line with this transition shade. Now I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit more smokier on the bottom, a little bit darker. So I'm just going to go into the shade Cool that we used again on top. I'm going to use the same Real Technique smudge brush, but I'm not going to bring this all the way into the inner corner of my eye. I'm just going to leave about 1/3, so about from here to the inner corner of my eye blank, or without this color. And so I'm just going to smudge this out. Now I'm going to stamp the darkest brown, the Burn color, onto my actual lash line, like where my lashes are growing. And I'm going to use a flat liner brush. This is also from the BH Cosmetics Rose Quartz set. Take this and kind of stamp it into that brown color, tap off the excess, and just stamp it right onto the lashes. Now this is where I'm going to add a little bit of shine, a little bit of shimmer to kind of bring this to open my eyes a little bit, because I got a lot of darkness going on the under eye, and whenever I have a lot of smokiness on the under eye, my eyes tend to look a little bit more closed or a little bit more hooded. And so just kind of open up my eyes a little bit, I'm going to be taking the shade Calm right here, which is this a beautiful shimmery shade, and I'm going to be placing that with my pencil brush that I used earlier. First I'm going to clean it off, of course. That 1/3 bit that I left open is where I'm going to place the shade Calm. So I'm just going to do this right on the lash line and a little bit on the under eyes, but I'm not going to bring it too far down because I don't want a bunch of like shimmery crap all the way down to where I might add my concealer. I'm going to go ahead and add the same exact shade into my inner corner just so I get a little pop of that little shininess there. Now this is where you would go ahead and add eyeliner if you want to add some eyeliner. I'm not going to do eyeliner today, but what I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add some mascara, some lashes. I'm going to do the rest of my face and I will be right back. So I went ahead and added mascara, lashes, did my entire face. Now everything that's on my face is basically everything that was included in my 2019 favorites, but in case you didn't watch that video or you don't want to watch that video, everything will be listed down below in the description box as per usual in all my videos. Always check out the description box because you never know what kind of information is down there. This is the finished neutral look with the Makeup Revolution Forever Flawless Chilled palette. Now, hopefully you guys understand now the difference between natural and neutral looks. This is a neutral look because you have all one kind of shade of color on your eyes. We have some browns, we have some greens, and this all kind of coincides together. And then I just threw on kind of a simple nude, a little bit of a peachy nude lip to kind of bring it all together. I'm just gonna give a little mention to the person who asked for this video. It is Hellbent for Leather, so thank you again for requesting this. Again, if you guys have any kind of recommendations or like you want me to try something in particular or review something, or you just want to see a certain video from me, leave it on the comment section because I love getting any kind of like video recommendations or ideas just to kind of like freshen things up a little bit, because sometimes your girl just runs out of ideas. And again, with YouTube being so saturated with all the beauty stuff, sometimes I feel like there's certain things that I want to review or want to make a video of, but then I'm just like, probably most people aren't going to be interested in it, or they're not going to care about it just because, you know, maybe so-and-so did it, they're a bigger YouTuber. Like, a lot of aspects go into what I decide to film. The makeup world is so, again, saturated that there's really not anything else that hasn't been done before, so it's going to be a little bit hard to be more creative, but I'm going to try my best, you guys. Anyways, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it for you. If you did, please hit a thumbs up and don't forget to click that big red button that says subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit that bell notification so you actually know when I post my videos. And as always, if you have any tips, tricks, questions, comments, or recommendations, leave them all in the comment section below, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.